Welcome everyone to our executive functioning series. Today we're going to be talking about connection to enhance executive functioning. And I see you, type A mama, already thinking, wow, my child is misbehaving and I need to connect with him. Well, let's just remember that during COVID-19, we have our Zoom calls and our social life and our outlets to release our stress. But they don't. The only thing they see is us. And so because we're so interconnected through mirror neurons, so the mirror neurons, I don't know if you know what they are, but they are basically the neurons that are in your cortex that allow you to really connect, to decipher other people's emotions and really be able to really feel empathy. So we're biologically wired to feel empathy in our lives. And so what your child sees of the world right now is really only you. No pressure, right? So it's so critical to understand that, and why connection is actually so good for executive functioning. So there are many studies that I want to share with you that I would like to quote, and the reason why basically we need to connect with our child even when they are displaying the most unacceptable behaviors, and especially when they're displaying the most unacceptable behaviors, is because through connection and what they call a secure attachment, we can actually enhance executive functioning and get you the results that you want. So I want to quote a couple of studies on that. The first one is a paper quoted from the American Psychological Association. And it's called, and I love the title, A Secure Base from Which to Regulate. A secure base from which to regulate attachment security in toddlerhood as a predictor of executive functioning at school entry. So basically, what was found was that the quality of the mother-child relationship was one of the earliest and most predictable predictors of children's developmental pathways and executive functioning tasks performance. Another study out of Canada, Montreal, investigating the link between the quality of the early caregiving environment experience and the children's subsequent executive functioning. And so what was found in this other study was that first, the core tenet of the attachment theory is that an infant is equipped with two complementary behavioral systems. The first one is the attachment, and the second one is the exploratory. And what was found was when the securely attached infants had the emotional security that the caregiving environment was compassionate, meant well, and was available to meet their needs, then they didn't have to waste so much energy anxiously scanning for ways to secure that attachment, right? And so they needed to devote fewer cognitive resources to anxiously scanning their environment for ways to enhance the attachment with the caregiver. And so those free up resources they could then utilize in the exploratory processes. So they were exploring more, they were more creative, and subsequently those children had a much more growth mindset. So they embraced problems more, they approached difficulty with more enthusiasm, and they just had more self-confidence, autonomy, and self-confidence. So it's so critical to understand that our secure attachment is a huge predictor and a huge enhancer of emotional stability, emotional regulation through executive functioning. And I want to wrap up this talk with, I don't know if you remember the MRI taken by this researcher with her 2-year-old son, showing two cortexes face to face when, as she was kissing her son. And we could see in the MRI some red dots, right, that were showing basically the visual processing recognition at work in the brain when we are securely attached and when we are just connected, powerfully connected with love and grace, self-compassion and compassion, right? And empathy. So if you like this video, share it, like it, send it to somebody who might need it, and please follow our YouTube channel, and speak with you very soon.